I break up with my girlfriend because of a caught cheating prank. I broke up with my girlfriend of 2 years because of something that happened recently. And now my friends are saying I massively overreacted. So a few days ago, my girlfriend and a close mutual friend decided to play a prank on me. The prank was that they filmed a scenario where I caught them in bed together, pretending they were hooking up. They set up a hidden camera in the bedroom, and when I walked in, I saw him in just boxers and my girlfriend in a bra and panties, straddling him, acting like they were mid-hookup. To make it more realistic, they even made some noises and tried to act like it was happening for real. I was shocked, furious, and immediately confronted them as I thought it was real at first, like an actual betrayal. And then I walked out of the room and started leaving the house, when they followed me screaming it was just a prank, and then showed me the video they'd been recording. To be honest, I felt completely betrayed, not just by the idea of the prank, but also because of how they had gotten undressed to film it. I know it's meant to be funny to some people, but for me it felt disrespectful and I was hurt. The whole thing felt like a violation of trust, even though I know they weren't actually cheating. I told her I couldn't be in a relationship with someone who would do something like that, and I ended things right there. She's devastated, and our friends have been telling me I overreacted. They think it was just a harmless prank and I should have taken it better. But I can't shake the feeling that it crossed a line for me, especially with how intimate and uncomfortable it felt to see them in that situation, even if it wasn't real. Now I'm left wondering if I made the right decision. I'm starting to doubt myself because everyone else seems to think I blew it out of proportion. Comments. So 2 adults who were comfortable enough being in their underwear together and assuming a sex position think you are overreacting? Another comment says, the fact they were comfortable enough to take most of their cloths off and get in a very compromising position says a lot about them. And another comment says, oh yeah, they wanted it. The video story may have been a safety net for if they got caught. If not, they wanted to get as close to the real thing as possible. I refused to pay for my girlfriend's plane ticket after she decided to stay longer on her trip without me. So here's the deal. I am 28 years old male and my girlfriend is 27. We have been dating for 2 years and I planned a 2-week vacation to Italy. I paid for the flights, hotels, everything, because I make more than she does. And I wanted it to be a stress-free trip for both of us. Everything was great until the last day when she tells me she wants to stay longer to find herself and think about our relationship without me. She didn't discuss this with me beforehand, and it completely blindsided me. I was hurt and told her that if she feels she needs time alone, then she should also be independent financially during this extension of her trip. I said I wouldn't be paying for her new return ticket whenever she decides to come back. Now she's upset, calling me unsupportive and selfish, and some of our friends are saying I'm being an a-hole because I left her stranded in a foreign country without financial help. It was time to go to the airport, so I did, without her. I'm one of those people who arrives really early because I never think I'll get to the gate in time because everything that could go wrong probably would go wrong. It never does, but especially with how I was feeling my luck was going, I didn't want to push it. I was there for about an hour by myself, mulling things over and talking to my mom. I looked at a couple responses to this post, but I didn't trust that I wouldn't lose it if I started responding. And I definitely didn't want to burst into tears while I was in the airport. As I was talking to my mom, my girlfriend showed up. I guess she thought I was bluffing, but had a rude awakening when the hotel staff had kicked her out of the room because I'd only paid through that day. I took no small amount of satisfaction in this. She'd been so concerned about the plane ticket that she didn't even stop to think about where she was going to stay. As many of you guessed, she met someone while we were in Italy. She was quick to tell me that it was just a physical attraction and that they hadn't done anything, but she had his at and was wanting to see if it'd go anywhere. I guess that's what I get for not feeling well and wanting to stay in one night while she went out to explore. Obviously, I told her things were over between us. Even though she tried to make it sound like nothing had happened, I couldn't feel like I could trust her when she said that. I don't really want to be with someone who feels like it's okay to still keep her options open when she's been in a monogamous relationship for the past 2 years. The flight home was awkward as fuck, and she tried really hard to give another pitch for why we should stay together on the drive home from the airport. I think as we got closer to home, reality started setting in, and she realized she'd just thrown a lot away. So yeah, I'm jet-lagged, and physically and emotionally exhausted. I'm just kind of numb at this point. Comments. She can find herself on her own dime. That's reasonable and fair. You have been supportive and unselfish. You didn't complain or become difficult. You respected her decision to stay and find herself. Supportive does not necessarily mean you have to pay for her choices. And no, you didn't strand her in a foreign country without financial help. It was her decision to stay behind. All you did was respect her decision. However, it was not your obligation to fund her decision. She's a grown woman, which means she's responsible for her choices and her financial independence. You invited her on a couple's trip. Well, the couple's trip is over. She decided to stay on her own? That's no longer part of the deal. She has every right to stay behind. She also has the right to pay for that out of her own pocket. Has she been this manipulative before? Red flag. Another comment says, let's be honest, she could find herself at home, but she chose to stay in Italy. She had a paid-for holiday, and now she is all surprised Pikachu face that he won't fund a journey of self-exploration with a side of, I need to think about our relationship without you. And another comment says, yeah, that read, I want to fuck Italian guys on your dime. Expect you to finance it because I never told you you were just my sugar daddy. Have you pay for my return and have a fully functional relationship like nothing happened when I return? My girlfriend did the sweetest thing for my 9-year-old brother, and now I know she's the one. My parents moved him to another school towards the end of the school year, and he had trouble making friends. He still invited his whole class to his birthday party that was on Friday, but nobody came. None of the kids. It was really heartbreaking seeing all the empty tables when he was really looking forward to it. My girlfriend of 4 years decided to call her brothers, asking them to come over, then she took off to go pick up her nephews. They're a little older, but they were still really nice to my brother. She called up her friends with kids. It wasn't a ton of people, but it was way more than before. All thanks to her. My little brother was so happy playing in the jumper with her nephews and brothers. They were all play wrestling with him. He had such a good time. It was nice that everyone came and was being so nice to him, but I'm also just super grateful to my girlfriend because she made it happen. I was watching her that whole time going, wow, I want to marry this woman. She's the one for me. Now I'm literally browsing online for engagement rings. Comments. Make sure you have her back, my bro. Good women can greatly improve every aspect of your life. Another comment says, as someone who recently had his 5-year-old not have anyone show up to his birthday party and saw him get crushed, like everyone flaked out. Yeah, she not just pulled off something amazing, but may have made a life-changing difference. Now, how are you going to learn what her ring size is, brother?
And another comment says, I measured my fiancé's with a piece of string while he was sleeping, then measured the string and calculated ring size. It worked perfectly. Luckily, he's a very heavy sleeper.